very good morning to all the students present over here, as well as a good morning to all those who are viewing this clip. Today, basically, for the class 9 student, I have come up with a chapter of political science, that is working of the institutions. Prior to this chapter in class 9, we had already gone with the chapter of election process in the country. If we take a look at the election process of the country, we will find that in a democracy, various processes and procedures are taken. These processes and these procedures, the discussions, the debates, the demonstrations, and whatever sort of anything of law-making related relation is there, everywhere we find that we have to take the support of the institutions. In a democratic setup like India, democracy is not just about the people. In a democratic setup like India, we will say that democracy is not just about the people, rather it is electing their rulers also. And when the rulers are elected, how such rulers perform their duties, how such rulers they come up with any sort of a policy or any law or a program. In a democracy, the rulers have to follow some rules and procedures. In a democracy, in the proper functioning of a democracy, we find that the rulers have to perform some of the rules and the procedures. They have to work with and within the institution. These rulers, they have to work with and within the institution. Such working of the institution, we have to undergo the studies right now. We have also seen that various laws are being made, laws are implemented. Whenever any sort of a dispute takes place with reference to any type of a law or a policy or a program, then another type of an institution interferes in between to resolve the dispute. So, laws are being legislated, laws are being executed, laws are being secured. This security, this legislation of a law, the execution of a law, what is this? That is simply the work which is being done by the institution. That particular institution we are going to talk about, that in a big organization, in this big country, where there is a federal nature of a working, that is the government at the central level and the government at the state level, how the proper functioning, how the checks and balances are maintained, everything is correlated to that of the institution. सारा चीज इंस्टीट्यूशंस के द्वारा संबंधित है. अगर इंस्टीट्यूशंस नहीं होते तो शायद हमारा सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का वर्किंग, हमारे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का वर्किंग और तीसरा चैनल एक और जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं पंचायती राज सिस्टम, वो तीनों सिस्टम हमारे तरीके से काम नहीं कर पाता. चाहे वो लॉ बनाने की बात हो, either it is the execution of a law or it is the maintenance of the law and order, everything is done by the support, by the help of the institution. So, in this chapter, we are going to deal with what are these institutions, how the working of the institution is maintaining the spirit of democracy, and these institutions, what type of functions do they adopt and what work do they do, that we have to study and clarify in this chapter. Coming with one of the major example of looking into the example of working of the institution, let us see how a major policy decision is taken. We are every time understanding that in a democracy, decisions are taken in the parliament. Now, how that major decisions are taken? कोई भी प्रोग्राम या पॉलिसीज या लॉ बन के तैयार होते हैं तो कौन है वो लोग जो लॉ बनाते हैं, कैसे वो लॉ इंप्लीमेंट होता है और कैसे वो लॉ सिक्योर्ड होते हैं, सुरक्षित होते हैं और अगर विवाद होता है, आफ्टर ऑल कौन सा वो बॉडी इंटरफेयर करता है उस चीज को रिजॉल्व करने के लिए? सो हाउ ए मेजर डिसीजन इज टेकन, लेट अस कम विथ वन ऑफ द एग्जांपल. Many type of decisions are taken. Every day hundreds and hundreds of decisions are taken by the government. हर एक दिन 100 हजारों डिसीजंस लिए जाते हैं सरकार के द्वारा. कभी कुछ, कभी आर्थिक, कभी सोशल, कभी पॉलिटिकल, और कभी जो है इन्वायरमेंटल. एनी टाइप ऑफ डिसीजंस आर टेकन बाय द गवर्नमेंट. But let us come with one of the examples such that I may be able to make you understand what is an institution. What work the institution has done. 13 August 1989, 13th August 1989, a law was formulated by the government of India, which was known as the Office Referendum. Now this Office Referendum, we will basically come to understand the meaning of the word office referendum. This office referendum is a communication made by a competent authority to make an order implemented throughout the country. That is known as the office memorandum. Office memorandum is an order issued by a competent authority such that it becomes an order truly for the entire nation or entire country. That is known as the office memorandum. We have to check it out. So on 13th August 1989, an office memorandum was implemented by the Secretary of Department of Personnel and Training and Public Grievances, and that Secretary of Department of Personnel Training and Grievances that implemented this law. This office memorandum, it beared a reference number. Whatever be the reference number of that office memorandum, basically the number of that office memorandum was OM number 36012/31/90 EST SCST. That was the number which was referred on that particular letter, and it bear the number 36012/90 SCST. What was that major decision? वो major decision क्या था? That major decision was providing of a reservation of jobs to socially educated backward classes of people, such that they can come up in the society and contest with other candidates who were the forwards. So this office memorandum, it basically made it clear that 27% of seats may be made reserved for the SEBC. Then the another name of that SEBC is what? It is OBC, yani it is other backward class of people. And the word SEBC means socially, educationally backward class people. It was this office memorandum, it was quite short, hardly one page. देखने से ऐसा नहीं लगता था कि वो ऑफिस मेमोरेंडम बहुत बड़ा ऑर्डर है, 2-4-6 पन्ने का बना हुआ है. नो, इट वॉज बेसिकली जस्ट लाइक दैट ऑफ अ स्कूल नोटिस बोर्ड का कोई नोटिस जो होता है, बिल्कुल उसी के समान था. ऊपर में रेफरेंस नंबर, नीचे में द ऑर्डर, एंड एट द लास्ट इट वॉज साइंड बाय द सेक्रेटरी ऑफ व्हाट? Secretary of Department of Personnel and Training and Grievance. That was the basic thing which was required in that. And that happened also. So the government issued hundreds and hundreds of references or orders every day, but this was a very important order for the entire nation, which drew the attention of lakhs and lakhs of people. And because it drew the attention of lakhs and lakhs of people, it became a matter of great controversy. Why did it become the matter of great controversy? Because the office memorandum clearly stated that 27% of the seats be reserved for the SEBC, that is socially educational backward classes of people. In another word, the another word for that will be OBC, that is other backward classes. That was the order which was made, and the secretary only implemented that matter. The matter was discussed in the parliament. It was introduced by the president address. After the president address, the matter was referred in the parliament. Parliament, everybody knows it. It comprises of the office of the Lok Sabha, the Rajya Sabha, and the president. The three institutions working over there. And then the matter was discussed in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and then it went for the approval by the President of India. And after getting the approval of the President of India, it was referred to the office of the Secretary for implementation. And after the implementation, it was universally accepted as a law. But soon after the law was implemented by the Secretary, there happened to be a great controversy. There happened to be a mass movement within the people about being not happy with such a type of a law being passed. That was the main issue regarding the office memorandum. Now, after when the same issue was discussed in the parliament, the question which is to be dealt over here is, who were the persons who were the decision makers? किसने ये decision लिया? Who took the decision? Is it the people of India? Is it the representative of the people? हमारे representative ने decision लिया? या हमारे IAS officers जिसे हम non permanent में, जिसे हम permanent members बोलते हैं, non political member executives बोलते हैं, क्या उन लोगों ने ये डिसीजन लिया? We have to come to understand this, and by understanding that, we will understand कि आखिर कितने institutions involved थे उस चीज को पारित करने में. How many institutions were involved in promulgating such type of an office memorandum? Who decided to issue this memorandum? Clearly, a very clear thing is that a single person could not have taken such a decision. Who signed this? जिसने ये साइन किया ऑफिस मेमोरेंडम के नीचे में, whoever had signed that, it was not that person who had promulgated that order. He might not have issued the order. He was just implementing it. He was just obeying the order because that was the work which is assigned to him. So the moment when the letter went to him, he was bound to give his signature. And after being bound to give his signature, that was meant to be passed and it was meant to be announced throughout the country. So we have to see over here that it was not that single person who was responsible for announcing such an order. The officer who made the signature was merely implementing the order. The officer was merely implementing the order. We can see that a major decision would have involved other major functionaries in our country. The major decisions in the country involve the major functionaries. What are these? Let us see that the major functionaries of the country are the President, the Prime Minister, the Cabinet and the Judiciary. The President of India is a formal head. The real power rests into the hands of the Prime Minister. ये बात मैं पिछले क्लास में भी I had told you all people that हमारे डेमोक्रेसी में The Prime Minister is the real holder of all the power. Everything is done by the Prime Minister in the name of the President of India. But if we clearly see, President of India is just simply a golden zero. एक स्वर्णिम zero है वो, because he has to pass whatever thing comes into his hand. Why? Because there is majoritarianism working in the parliament. Parliament, the head of the parliament is the Prime Minister. Prime Minister head is the head of the majority party. And when the same is being passed by the parliament, it goes to the president for getting its signature. And after when the president implements it, does its signature, it becomes law. President can just simply hold that particular order for 14 days. Give the suggestions. But after when the 14 days expires, what does it mean? It is deemed to be passed. In a democratic structure like India, the Prime Minister is the real head. The President is the formal head. लेकिन अमेरिका की अगर हम बात करते हैं, if we talk about America, everything is there in the hands of the President. President is the real hero over there. The real function, the real working of the democracy. That he is not a formal power over there like that of India. Just the same, what the power the Prime Minister in India has, in the same way, the President of America has the same type of a power over there. So, coming back, I would say that the basic functionaries and the working of the institution in implementing that office memorandum was done by whom? Done by the office of the President, done by the Parliament, done by the President and the Prime Minister and the Cabinet Ministers. And then finally we will also see what role did the judiciary play in that. The Sambodhan of the Parliament starts with the President's address. The bill was introduced in the Parliament. Bill जो है introduce हुआ Parliament. President ने उसकी चर्चा start किया, addressing of the House. The matter went in the Parliament, that was discussed in the Parliament. There were ups and downs, demonstrations, debates, discussions and so on. And after when several demonstrations and such type of things, the bill was passed from both the houses of the Parliament, from the Lok Sabha as well as the Rajya Sabha, including the Cabinet Ministers. Cabinet Ministers are what? They are the members of the Lok Sabha, who are the kitchen members of the Prime Minister, very much close to that of the Prime Minister. Very much close to that of the Prime Minister. So, the matter was discussed in the Parliament by both the houses, and after when the same order got passed from both the houses of the Parliament, it went for the President's assent. Assent is what? That is the signature of the President of India. And after when it went to the President, after it went to the President for its approval, and after the President gave its signature, it went to the executive body for its implementation. That executive body is the secretary of that Department of Personnel and Training and Public Grievances. That secretary is not a political member. He is a IAS officer who has competed in an examination of Indian Civil Services. And that executive member, that is the secretary of the state of that particular department, his nature of work is what? His nature of work is that prepare the letter, prepare the order what is being passed and implement it and execute it. So, till now, we understood matter is legislated in the parliament. मैटर किसी भी तरह का लॉ, किसी भी तरह का पॉलिसी, किसी भी तरह का प्रोग्राम्स, वो हमारे पार्लियामेंट में लेजिस्लेट होता है, यानी बनता है, मेकिंग ऑफ एनी लॉ। और जो आदमी बना रहे होते हैं, who are those? They are our representatives. Every country, every states, every districts have their one representative, which is demarcated like that of the constituency. Constituency के आधार पर उसका demarcation which is being done by the Election Commission of India. Election Commission तय करता है कि मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट का कंस्टिट्यूएंसी कितना बड़ा होगा, एमएलए का कंस्टिट्यूएंसी कितना छोटा होगा, कितना बड़ा होगा, दैट इज ratified by the Election Commission of India, who conducts and controls the election process in the country. So that representative who is contesting the election from that constituency, whoever is declared the winner, he becomes the member of the parliament. Altogether, in the parliament, we have got 550 MPs. उसमें से 12 आदमी को नॉमिनेट करता है प्रेसिडेंट, और बाद बाकी का चयन एवरीथिंग इज डन बाय द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया. So all those members sat down together at the parliament, discussed the matter, and then it was referred to the Rajya Sabha, which is known as the House of the Elderlies, जिसका maximum strength 250 है. And after when it gets the approval of the Rajya Sabha, it went to the president. And this person, secretary, the IS officer, the person who had clarified the Indian Civil Service examination, he just implemented. So institutionally हम लोग यहाँ पर बात कर रहे हैं कि एक बॉडी, एक इंस्टीट्यूशन आपने देखा, लेजिस्लेचर legislates the law, एग्जीक्यूटिव executes the law, यानी वो लॉ को इंप्लीमेंट करता है. It is the executive body, that is the Secretary of Finance, Secretary of Department of Personnel and Training, who executed that matter. And in order to look into the matter that any type of a dispute does not take place, किसी भी तरह का विवाद ना हो, वो लॉ सुरक्षित रहे, उस लॉ के कारण there cannot be any type of a controversy, the law and order may not be disturbed. So in order to maintain the law and order, in order to maintain the dispute, if the circumstances arises, अगर स्थिति बन जाती है, then the third body will interfere over there, the third institution. And what is that third institution? The third institution is the judiciary. Judiciary, I would rather say, at the head there is the Supreme Court, just below that there is the High Courts at each and every state, and below the High Court there is the district civil courts in each and every districts of the country. So it is the judiciary which will intervene in between to decide the matter if any type of a dispute takes place. And if any type of a dispute takes place, that resolving of the dispute shall be done by the parliament, shall be done by the judiciary, sorry. So I was just talking about, so were all these people involved in the decision regarding the office memorandum. So all these people, the President of India, the Prime Minister, the members of the Parliament, that is both the houses, and then the executive body, and then finally, if the circumstances arises, the members of the judiciary will also interfere in between to secure the law, to maintain the law, to decide whether a law is valid or not, to decide whether a law is better for the entire people or not. That is to be decided by the judiciary. If the circumstances say, then judiciary will interfere. So till now we have studied that the working of the institution with regard to one simple example, वो रिजर्वेशन बिल के बारे में जो हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था, उसके बारे में हम लोग यही जान रहे हैं कि 3 इंस्टीट्यूशन वहां पर इंटरफेयर किया है. पहला इंस्टीट्यूशन जिसने उस चीज को लेजिस्लेट किया, that parliament, the body, the parliament, that is also one of the institution. Executive, second institution. Judiciary, the third institution. Now coming into the office memorandum को recollect करते हैं कि after all, from where did this office memorandum start? From where? What is the history behind this? What led to the people of the country to implement this type of a law? The office memorandum was a culmination of a long chain of events. This office memorandum, that was the culmination of various type of events of the past. The government of India had appointed a second backward classes commission in 1979. The government of India, had appointed a commission in the year 1979 to probe into the matter, to look into the matter, to bring about advantages to the people of SEBC who are socially educated backward classes people. So the second backward commission appointed a body headed by Dr. B.P. Mandal. The government of India appointed Mr. B.P. Mandal in that commission to give the report about the condition of the SEBC people, socially educated backward class people. उनके बारे में रिपोर्ट देने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने 1979 में एक बॉडी बनाया, एक कमीशन बनाया, एंड द मैटर वाज गिवन टू सर बीपी मंडल कि आप अपना रिपोर्ट मुझे पेश करो, व्हाट इज द कंडीशन ऑफ द पीपल. सर बीपी मंडल आफ्टर a long period of a time drafted a report, and in that draft report Sir B.P. Mandal gave the report stating there the commission gave its report in the year 1980. 1980 में Sir B.P. Mandal gave its report in the year 1980 and made many recommendations. Many recommendations were made by Sir B.P. Mandal. One of that recommendation was allotting of 27% of seats to SEBC in the government jobs and services. That was one of the basic, important, or you can well say, the most prime thing which was being given by Sir B.P. Mandal in its report regarding the OBC people or the SEBC people. Educationally backward classes people would have been given the advantage if 27% of seat was made reserved for them. So the report and recommendation were discussed in the parliament. The report and the recommendation was discussed in the parliament. Sir B.P. Mandal gave the report. The report was handed over to the government, and the government placed that particular report in the parliament, and then very soon the discussion started in the parliament. At first, many of the political parties did not try to discuss such a type of matter. At first, many political parties or many governmental bodies who were at the governing the country, they did not discuss the matter. It was left aloof. उसको छोड़ दिया गया. But during the period of 1989, when general election was taking place in the country, Janata Dal government during that time made an announcement to the people during its election manifesto. At its election manifesto, the Janata Dal government announced to the people far and wide that if elected to the power, our government would implement 27% of seats reserved for the OBCs. VP Singh, the Prime Minister, VP Singh, the member of the Janata Dal, became the Prime Minister in the year 1990 of Janata Dal. Maximum number of people were taken aback by the order or the announcement. उस announcement से काफी संख्या में लोग उत्तेजित हुए और जनता दल की सरकार को जो है बहुमत स्थापित कराते हुए उसे पार्लियामेंट में एक अच्छी सी जगह पर किया. वीपी सिंह, वेद प्रकाश सिंह became the prime minister at that time. अब तो उनके पास कोई चारा नहीं था. उन्होंने जो वचन दिया था लोगों के सामने कि अगर मैं पावर में आ जाऊं तो मैं 27% सीट्स को मैं promulgate करूंगा आप लोगों के सामने. The matter was discussed in the parliament, and after the discussion, it went to the president's approval. The president had to give the approval because the working machinery in a democratic system is something like that. And the president gave its assent. It became a law. It went to the office of the secretary. The office of secretary typed the letter mentioning the reference number, and the secretary gave its signature and mohar upon that, and it became a law. It became a law for the implementation. After when the law became implemented, there was huge cry. There were great protests. There were great demonstration by another section of the people. वो another section of the people कौन है? वो another section of the people मान के चलिए जो socially educated backward class people नहीं है. Who were those? तो हमारे caste system को अगर हम देखें, if you look into the caste system, तो those who were not benefited by that, who were those? They were the forward class people. ये फॉरवर्ड क्लास मैं जरा तोड़ के और बता देता हूं. द फॉरवर्ड क्लास बच्चे या स्टूडेंट्स कौन थे? या तो ब्राह्मण के थे, या तो राजपूत, भूमियार, लाला और कुछ उसी से रिलेटेड और एक क्लास. सो दे वर द फॉरवर्ड क्लास. सो देयर वर मॉलेस्टेशन. स्टूडेंट्स आग लगाने शुरू कर दिए, दफ्तर जलाने शुरू कर दिए. There happened to be the riots. People came down on the streets. They demonstrated against the government with regard to such a type of a bill. When there was great controversy, the matter was referred. When there was a great controversy, the matter was referred to the judiciary. The judiciary intervened in middle. And after when the judiciary intervened in middle, then the judiciary came up with only one type of a modification in that. Judiciary सिर्फ एक modification लेकर आया कि उस रिपोर्ट में, मंडल कमीशन रिपोर्ट में, सर बीपी मंडल mentioned SEBC should get 27% of reservation in government jobs and services. And when there was demonstration, the matter was intervened by the judiciary. The judiciary discussed the matter, अपना due application of judicial mind वहां पे लगाया और Supreme Court interfered into the matter and saw that only one change was brought by the Supreme Court, and that change was that the creamy layer, उस SEBC में जो creamy layer के लोग हैं, जिसको हम हिंदी में मलाई परत बोलते हैं, उस SEBC में क्रीमी लेयर के लोग जो हैं, जिसे हम हिंदी में मलाई परत कहते हैं, सिर्फ सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उसको अलग कर दिया और जज का तस लॉ बन के रह गया. There was nothing anything bad in that law. So we can well see कि अब तक में इस working of the institution, what do we see? That any type of a law, वो ऑफिस मेमोरेंडम जो मैंने अभी बताया, वो तो सिर्फ एक साधारण एक एग्जांपल है. Hundreds and hundreds of decisions are taken every day. वो डिसीजन कैसे बनता है? इसी तरीके से बनता है. Matter is discussed in the legislature, matter is executed, and then if any type of a dispute takes place, then it is being solved by the judiciary. That is the basic thing we have to discuss over here. So finally, to come to the conclusion, we can well understand that the working of the institution in a democracy is really a very much beneficial thing for the entire working of a democracy. No democracy can work without the proper functioning of a several type of institutions. Till now, I have made you understand by sorting out an example कि how several types of institutions are playing their role in promulgating any type of an order or availing any type of a law. कौन-कौन से वो institutions हैं? What do they do? What type of functions do they perform? Is it very much necessary that such institutions will have to interfere in the middle? I hope, my dear students, you might have got clear that what are these institutions? What role do these institutions play? And is it very much necessary that institutions will have to play the role? We will certainly move forward with the second part of the thing, and we will come to understand and restudy कि उसी institutions में और कौन-कौन से अंग हैं, what are the major other organs of that institutions, we will study that. Till then, best of luck and bye.